Hey, I get it, standing in the backyard, staring at a shiny new grill on the patio, and wondering if you're about to make the right call can be a little nerve-wracking. You've probably already imagined the aroma of a perfect steak, the sizzle of veggies, and maybe even the sound of a rotisserie turning slowly over a weekend cookout. At the same time, you're thinking about the money you're about to spend, the space it will take up, and whether that extra horsepower under the hood actually translates into anything useful for your typical backyard menu. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So let's break down the Summerset Professional Grill's TRL38 LP, a 38-inch unit that's been marketed as a pro-level outdoor cooking station, and see if it really earns its place at your grill lineup. First off, the biggest thing that makes the TRL38 LP stand out is its all-stainless steel construction. The body is made from 304 stainless steel, which is the same grade you'll find on many commercial kitchen appliances. In practice, that means the grill resists rust, holds up well against the occasional rain splash, and doesn't develop the kind of discoloration that cheap painted grills get after a season of sun exposure. For anyone who lives in a humid climate or is prone to leaving the grill outdoors for a few weeks while on vacation, that durability is a genuine peace-of-mind factor. On the flip side, the all-steel design adds quite a bit of weight. The unit tips the scales at over 100 pounds, so you'll need at least 2 people to move it safely, and it's not something you'll want to stow in a garage and pull out every other weekend. If your backyard space is tight, the heft could become a logistics headache. Now let's talk about the heat. Summerset equips this model with 4 18000 BTU burners, each wrapped in a stainless steel U-tube for even flame distribution. The total output sits at 72,000 BTU, which sounds impressive on paper, but what really matters is how that power translates to cooking performance. In real-world testing, those burners heat the cooking surface quickly. Usually within 1012 minutes you'll have a solid 500-degree zone for searing, and a more moderate 300-degree zone for slower cooking. The Rotisserie IR back burner, a feature that's often reserved for higher-end models, gives you an extra layer of heat that keeps the meat juicy while the exterior crisps up. This makes a big difference if you're planning to do a whole chicken or a pork shoulder on the rotisserie. You'll get that rotisserie-ready caramelization without having to flip or move the meat around. The downside is that managing 4 separate burners can be a bit of a juggling act if you're new to multi-zone grilling. You'll need to keep an eye on each control knob, and the heat can be a bit overwhelming for beginners who just want a simple single-zone grill for burgers and hot dogs. Speaking of the cooking surface, the TRL38 LP offers a spacious 38-inch grate that can accommodate multiple items side by side. In practice, this means you could throw a slab of ribs, a few chicken thighs, and a tray of grilled corn on the same surface, all while keeping each item within its own heat zone. The real advantage here is in meal planning for larger gatherings. You can cook a full family-style dinner without having to shuffle dishes around or rely on multiple smaller grills. However, the larger surface does require more cleaning effort. The stainless steel grates do a decent job of shedding food residue, but if you're grilling heavily sauced items, you'll still need to scrape and brush the grates after each use. The included rotisserie kit makes setup fairly straightforward. Just attach the motor, slide the spit through the meat, and lock it in place. What you won't get, though, is a removable ash catcher. The back burner produces a decent amount of drippings, and without a dedicated catch tray you'll end up with some cleanup around the burner area. Who should consider buying this grill? If you're an avid backyard chef who enjoys experimenting with different cooking techniques, searing, indirect smoking, rotisserie roasting, and you have the space to dedicate a permanent grill station, the Summerset Professional TRL38 LP hits a sweet spot. It's also a good match for families that host regular barbecues. The multiple burners let you run a high-heat sear for steaks while maintaining a lower heat zone for sausages or vegetables, which means you won't have to wait for the grill to cycle between temperatures. The rotisserie feature is a nice bonus for anyone who likes to impress guests with whole bird presentations without buying a separate rotisserie unit. On the other hand, if you're looking for a lightweight, portable grill you can toss on a campsite or into a small balcony, this model will probably feel too big and heavy. The same goes for beginners who simply want a no-fuss, one-button charcoal or basic propane grill. The learning curve around 4 burners, IR back heat, and rotisserie could feel like more hassle than reward for someone who's only grilling a few burgers a month.